A person who thinks all the time has nothing to think about except thought. He loses touch with reality. A good servant, but a bad master, and lives in a world of illusion. And all so-called civilized people have increasingly become crazy and self-destructive.
Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
And let's talk horror.
So today we are going to do our verses on The Strangers, verse Stranger Chapter 1. And I know, guys, it's been quite some time since we've done this segment, but we are bringing back verses, and I'm so excited about it.
Me too. And with the upcoming release of The Strangers Chapter 2, we thought what better way to refresh you on the first two installments, whether it be the original or the remake. So today, we're going to talk about things we like from the original, things we like from the remake, and then verse them against each other and see which one we like the most.
So let's get into The Strangers. So The Strangers, it's the opening with like a kid emergency call to 911.
911, what's your emergency? Are you there? There are people here. Okay, calm down.
And it's brutal.
Yeah. Like, that's scary, especially for a kid to,
Walk in
stumble
and see
upon
that.
this and see that. That would be pretty scary.
Right. And then we'll talk more about this in the verses segment, but in this movie, he proposed to her at a wedding. She said no.
She wasn't ready.
Right, but he's not willing to give up giving her that ring.
I can't keep it. I can't take it back. Please.
A for persistence, my friend.
Yeah.
Good on you to keep trying with, it's Liv Tyler. Good,
Yeah.
Nobody gonna give up on her.
Keep trying, I guess, but at the same time, it's like, she isn't ready, buddy.
She's not ready, my friend.
Maybe if you go through some, like, traumatic events, she'll be ready after that. I don't know.
I know a psychiatrist who might be able to help you with that.
And then, again, we'll talk about why this happened in the verses part of it.
Psychological warfare here.
Yeah, so they pull back the blinds, and in blood is written killer. And if you know, you know
right.
why they wrote it.
And I think that this is like I said, this is where they're just trying to mess with their minds. Mm-hmm. We don't just want to kill you. We want to make sure that you are
playing with our
extremely
food.
messed up before we do. So their phones don't work. Obviously, the strangers have completely demolished their phones. So we do find Kristen talking on a radio out in the shed, mm-hmm. trying to get a hold of somebody to get some help. In another very tense scene.
It's almost like emotional, like please help us, like
mm-hmm.
like this is our last
our last ditch effort here.
Yeah, for sure. And then Pinup Girl's like fuck you, and she literally smashes the radio with a sledgehammer.
I like those. Just completely demolishes the radio as another way of just saying I could kill you right now, but instead I want you to feel helpless. I want you to feel like there's nothing you can do. Mm-hmm. And in one of the more tense moments of the film, we do get Kristen hiding in the closet. And when she's looking through the slits in like the pantry closet.
You know what that reminds me of? What? Halloween OG, when she's in the closet.
I now like this movie 1 point less.
I now like you 1 point less.
So you have that moment of her, watching out through the closet, trying to make sure that she can get out and try to get help. And just one of the more traumatic events. I think that this movie really didn't start, but it definitely for a generation popularized the home invasion horror movie, the real life style home invasion horror movies where it's not an over-the-top villain or stupid characters making stupid decisions.
And also, just like, again, we're going to get into the punchline in the verses part, but like just what they, like, the reasoning behind it, no other than, you were here.
You're home.
Yeah, like
That's
you were
why.
here and you were home and we're going to mess with you because we're bored.
Right.
Like there's nothing we want here except for to kill you. So that is like scary, like evil,
And I agree. I think that that's what makes this Strangers from 2008 so iconic and such a staple in the genre is I don't have a reason. I'm bored. And I want to do this. So those are some of the things that we like or dislike about the original Strangers. Now let's get into The Strangers Chapter 1.
So now we are going to talk about Strangers Chapter 1. And I have to talk about this because it bugs me. The way Ryan uses his inhaler, he's not even getting it into his lungs. Like, it's literally like splattering on the back of his throat. Like, it drives me freaking crazy. You need a spacer. You need about this much space. Psh, psh.
She's a respiratory therapist, so just wanted to point that out.
It probably, nobody else cares. Like, literally no, unless you're a respiratory therapist out there, then you're like, where's your spacer at, Ryan?
This movie kind of builds into our characters, where the other one pretty much starts with them pulling up to the cabin. This one you get, them driving. They're, in love. They're going to this diner. They notice there's a missing person picture on the wall. There's just so much character development to start this movie, where the other one were kind of just thrown in.
Yeah, thrown into this unhappy relationship where, one wants to marry the other, but they're like going across the country together.
Yeah.
So, and then you get this this little
funny clip.
5 years, and you ain't put a ring on her finger? The hell are you waiting for?
Well, right now I'm just waiting on my turkey melt.
It's just, he's like, right now I'm just waiting on my,
Yeah, can we please talk about anything fucking else other than this?
Yeah, for real. Like, how people get uncomfortable when you start asking about the future, and he's like, right now, just want my turkey melt right now.
Right. Well, then you have a scene of them. They get to because they're stopping at an Airbnb. They're not going to a family cabin, and the fridge isn't working. And there's a phone number on there, so they call the fridge repairman, the guy that owns the B&B, like, hey, the fridge isn't working. We're going to need you to come out here. This doesn't seem important, but it will be.
It will
so they do make a phone
play.
call to the fridge repairman during this movie.
And in one of my probably favorite scenes in the movie is where you get Sackhead in the mirror, and he's just there watching her, and she doesn't even notice him in the mirror. And I think that I love when we do mirror stuff, but just like that, like, I'm watching you and you don't even know I'm here. Like, it's creepy, and I really love that scene.
And then in one of the dumbest character moments, Ryan leaves and goes back to the diner to get their food. As we all know, you never split up.
Hell no, I don't care if it's a bite. I'm riding on the back of that with you.
Right.
You are not leaving me here by myself.
In a place that I don't know.
In the middle of nowhere, you have no way to get out. You're taking the transportation. No, Ryan, scoot your ass up, because I'm getting on there with you.
Right.
And then when they're eating their dinner, you have the part where he has ketchup on his face, and then you look up and you see the dead chicken is dripping blood all over.
Would have been so much more impactful had this not been the whole trailer.
It really was. We already knew that it was coming, but that would have been creepy. Like, who the fuck put that up there?
And when?
Yeah.
And then you get, she's hiding, Mia, and she's hiding with her flashlight on her phone.
Girl, we gotta talk about hiding. That's easily.
I'm just like, hey, people can see you when that flashlight is on.
Another really silly scene is
I
when
fucking hate this
they're
scene.
running out to get onto the motorcycle, and then all of a sudden it blows up. Just as soon as they run out, like, timed greatly, just blows up, and then you look back and like the
line of
there's
fire.
like a line of fire to Sackhead.
But the line of fire was not there first.
Yeah, so
it just blows up and then a line of fire comes.
Yeah, because they would have seen the line of fire. Yeah, like that
We're
didn't
being
make any.
very nitpicky here, but even in cinema, I was like,
we weren't
what the
nitpicky
fuck?
with the first one, but
Well, we didn't have to be.
I
The first
know.
one didn't have stupid moments like this.
Yeah.
One thing I do love about this movie, I'll give it flowers where it's due, is when they're hiding in the crawl space, and they're crawling, and Mia's hand goes through the nail.
Oh, yeah.
And she's just like, she's trying not to scream.
Yeah.
And Ryan's like, don't you fucking scream.
Well, he's comforting her at the same time, like, a hold your mouth, don't scream type thing. Yeah, that would hurt so
That was
bad.
a very, that part was probably the most anxious part of this
because
whole movie
that
to
they're
me.
right above the floorboards and they're down there crawling, and that would hurt so freaking bad. Then you have Mia. She's hiding in the leaves, and she finds a dead body, and I'm assuming
it's the guy from the opening.
from the opening where the missing person. So she finds this guy. So obviously they did this to him too, and just buried him out there.
I don't know. Like, her hiding in the leaves thing, though, looks so silly because she's all exposed, and then they're like, no, she's not there. It's like she literally put 2 leaves over her eyes. Like, you can't see me.
I can't see you. You can't see me.
Right. And then another part that really drives me nuts about this movie is Ryan has
This
Pinup
is
Girl.
the one that drives me the most.
And she's dancing in front of him and
shoot her ass.
Fucking shoot her, dude. Like, you already killed an innocent guy. Like,
yeah, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, just fucking kill her. Or like
she literally is torturing you. She probably killed your girlfriend. I mean, at that point, does he even know she's still alive?
No idea.
Like, fucking kill her.
Shoot
There's
her,
two
dude.
other out there. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah. So those are some of the things we like and very much dislike about the newest Strangers, The Strangers Chapter 1. Now we're going to verse these, talk about the things they have in common, and choose which one we like more of the bunch. All right, guys, now we're going to be versing these against each other and determining which film we liked more. So let's start off with the cast.
I have to go with the original. You have Liv Tyler. Like, she's so incredibly hot. And no, she's really amazing and very, like, believable. And their whole relationship and everything that's like going on, I feel like
increases the tension.
Yeah, because they're on the outs at this point, and now they have to pretty much, they're doing this like trauma bond type thing at this point. So I know a therapist if you need somebody. I'm gonna go with the original as well, and I don't have I'm not like against the remakes cast. I thought they were fine. They were good. They were okay. Yeah.
But in a movie where they're so similar, I'm going to go with the original every time.
Yeah.
Now, in the remake, they are at an Airbnb.
Right.
But at the original, they're at their dad's cottage. Which one of those do you like better?
I think that it's scarier that they're at the Airbnb because obviously he grew up in that cottage. He knows where things are. He can find a gun. I think at the Airbnb, it makes it scarier because this is a stranger's home that they're renting out for the night, and they know where nothing is. They don't even know really where they are. They're in the middle of nowhere. Mm-hmm. So I think it's scarier. I'm going to go with the remake on that one. I
can see both sides. I'm actually going to disagree here, and I'm going to go with the original. You're supposed to feel the safest at home, and this is a home-like place for him. And so I think that it's a little bit scarier to me that this is happening in somewhere where you're supposed to feel the most safe.
Yeah.
I do like what you're saying. Mm-hmm. This is a foreign place. You don't know anything.
I can see both sides.
But yeah, this is a hard one for me. But I am going to just a little bit go with the original. Now, in the original, you have the kids coming up to the door, walking in, and then we cut to the events that happened before. Or at the remake, you have the guy initially getting killed, setting up what's going to happen the rest of the movie. So which one of these do you like more?
I'm going to go with the remake on this one also, just because, again, it's setting up the rest of the movie. You're seeing how brutal they are. Obviously, it's not just, anybody. It's whoever is like in that area. Like, they're going to assassinate or whatever. Not assassinate, but...
I agree. I'm going to go with the remake as well. I do like the idea of the kids coming to the door. But one thing about that is I'm not a huge fan of showing the ending before the ending. It's just never been something I've been a huge fan of. And so seeing somebody get killed right off the rip, I'm always down for that. So I'm going to go with the remake on this one as well. Now here's where we have the bit of the discourse. She wouldn't marry him in The Strangers, and they're kind of on the outs. Or in the second one, they're in a very good relationship. She told him she didn't want to get married, so he's never popped the question. That's why he's never done it. It's not like they're fighting, like they're disagreeing, like they're on the outs, like she's not ready. They're in a perfectly healthy relationship.
Yeah.
So which one of these do you like more?
I like the original. I like that that you have that extra attention on top of everything else that's going on around them. Like, they literally, they're staying there for the night, and then they're probably going their separate ways, and now they have...
He's got to go in and get the champagne out, take care of the flowers.
It really makes... There's more emotion there with it.
I agree. I'm going to go with the original on this one. And again, I love the fact that they're so in love in the remake. That was one of my favorite parts about that movie, even though Ryan annoyed the shit out of me throughout most of that movie.
I feel like they really are in love in the OG too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But... like you said, it increases tension. They're on the outs, and now all this is happening, and now she's realizing, like, wow, this is how much he loves me.
Yeah.
Like, he would do this for me. So, in the original, both of these are traumatic.
Yeah.
He shoots his friend Mike, thinking it's one of the strangers coming in. And remember earlier when I said they called it fridge repairman? I told you to come back into play, because in this one, they shoot the homeowner, the owner that's coming in to repair the fridge. So, of these two, which one do you think is more impactful?
Oh, the OG. I mean, that's your best friend, your childhood friend, literally was coming there to save you from this, this shit that's going on, like get you away from this woman that doesn't want to marry you. And obviously they're really close, and just the emotion on his face when he sees that it was his friend Mike. It's so impactful. The other one is too, like,
why doesn't he have a mask on?
Yeah, it's still traumatic, but they didn't know who he was. So yeah, you killed someone. That sucks.
An innocent person
horrible.
at that.
An innocent person that was just trying to come and fix your fridge. But this was his best friend. Like, it's just more impactful to me.
I agree. I am going to say that the original is more impactful for the exact same reasons that Ashley just did. Mm-hmm. If I shot Josh or Bill or Justin when they were coming to help me, I don't know if I would be able to live with myself after that. If I shot an innocent person, I would be fucked up. Yeah. I would. I couldn't kill somebody for no reason. But somebody that I genuinely love that I would die for, it would be a very hard pill for me to swallow. Mm-hmm. Now, here's where I'm going to get maybe some shit. Because at the beginning of the OG, as you can see on the screen, it says that the events of that night are still unknown. Now, I get it. At the end of the movie, she jumps up and you see her as still alive, but she's dead. If the events of that night are still completely unknown, she couldn't live to tell the tale.
Unless she has amnesia.
No, she's dead. So in the original, the couple is dead. In the remake, Mia 100% does survive. So which of these do you like more?
I like that Mia survived. I'm excited to get Chapter 2. I'm hoping that it will make Chapter 1 better, and maybe the three of them together, Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and Chapter 3, will make it like
a consistent story.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about this more at the end, but I'll put my 2 cents in on that. I do agree. I like the fact that they're going to continue the story in a linear form rather than going from The Strangers to The Strangers Pray at Night, which is also extremely underrated.
Yeah.
We love The Strangers Pray at Night.
They really have nothing to do with each other.
And I like that now we're getting a linear story that continues. So I'm going with the remake on this one as well, seeing Mia survive. And like seeing Sackhead in her bed.
In her bed with her in the hospital.
I thought that was really good. Now, here's another one that's in the original, they show their face to our victims. Not to us, but to our victims, because we're going to fucking kill you anyway. In the remake, we don't see their faces because they are continuing the story. So it wouldn't make sense to show their face. Which one do you like more?
I feel like we said, that they're playing with them. They mess with them the entire time. And I think that in the OG, them showing their face
it's just
was
them saying,
just
we're
showing
gonna kill
like
you.
You're done, you're dead. And I think that was was smart, and it was just another knife in the heart at that point. Yeah.
I agree with you. I'm going to go with the original on this one, showing their face. Because at that point, like, we're not going to say anything. You can just leave. And they're like, oh well, you've seen our faces. Now we can't leave. So now we got to kill you.
Die, yeah.
And that's fucking terrifying.
It really is.
The sociopathicness, I don't know if that's a word, but showing how sociopathic they are is just insane to me. Like, we haven't seen your face, please. They're like, oh, you haven't. You're right.
Now you have. So we got to kill you. So.
Yep, can't let you go.
Yeah.
Now, the last one here. In the original, we get this line.
Because you were home.
And in the remake, we get this line.
Why are you doing this to us?
Because you're here.
So,
do you even have to ask
we
me?
said it during our trailer reaction, so if you follow the channel at all, you know. But which one do you prefer?
Because you're here. Just kidding. No. It didn't even hit the same. When we did our trailer reaction, I was like, what?
Are they tied up to a chair?
Don't you fucking say it.
Because you're here.
Shut
because
the
you were
fuck
here?
up.
That doesn't even hit the same.
No, because you were home. And I talked about this earlier. Like, when we first watched this movie, that line gave me goosebumps. Like,
it did.
No other reason are we here besides we seen the light on and there was someone living in there, and we want to kill someone, and you were home. It could have been your neighbor, but they were gone. So it's you.
100% agree. It's the original. That, like she said, the first time we heard that, it was just like, ooh. Mm-hmm. That's fucking terrifying. Like, there's no reason. I wasn't paid to do this. You've done nothing against me.
I don't want anything in your home. Like, I'm not here to steal. I'm here to kill you.
Right. So the original for me as well. And what I was going to say a little bit ago is The Strangers Chapter 1 was not well received. And they were kind of handcuffed because they were telling the story of what happened in The Strangers with the new cast. You couldn't make the continuation with a younger cast now. It wouldn't make sense.
Right.
So they had to go back and retell that story. Did they do it well? Could have been a lot better. But maybe with The Strangers Chapter 2 where they have the reins and they can tell their own story, maybe now we'll get a little bit better of a film, in my opinion.
And
so
maybe I feel like maybe Chapter 2 could increase how we feel about Chapter 1. You never know.
Right. Well, and like I said, they had to go book by the original, essentially, because they're telling that story.
Yeah.
Now they have free reign. There's no excuses now. So when it comes to this, I gave 6 to the original. I gave 2 to the remake.
And I gave 5 to the original, and I gave 3 to the remake.
So now, as always, the score doesn't always really matter. Sometimes we've had a lower score on one, and we've preferred that movie. So which of these 2 movies do you prefer?
I'm still going to go with the original, just because when it came out, I felt like it really, this home invasion movie, it just really started something, and it was terrifying. I was scared. I remember watching it in the theater, and I was actually really scared. And there's just so much good about it.
Brian Bertino, baby.
Yeah, he's great. Because You Were Home, that shit, it really did scare me.
Mm-hmm.
The original or the remake, it's just mediocre. It's right in the middle. I feel like they didn't put they took the bones, but they didn't put enough of their own meat into it. So I feel like if they would have done that, maybe it would have been a little better perceived. But like you said, they kind of were chained to the OG because they still had to tell that story. But they could have maybe done it a little differently and not had so many stupid the blowing up of the motorcycle.
They could have done better with this movie.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm going to say that I like the original a lot more, and 6-2 is even closer than I thought it would be. I was not a big fan of The Strangers Chapter 1. And again, this is no fault of the people involved. It's just I've already seen this story done better.
Yeah.
But like I said, they were handcuffed with that. They got my attention. I'm ready to see The Strangers Chapter 2. I'm ready to watch it. I'm very excited about it. So let us know in the comments, what do you prefer, The Strangers or The Strangers Chapter 1? What are your expectations of The Strangers Chapter 2? I'm hearing, a little birdie has told me, we're going to find out who Tamara is.
Is Tamara here?
No.
Is Tamara home?
Is Tamara here?
No.
Is Tamara here?
No. We already told you there is no Tamara here.
In The Strangers Chapter 2.
Is Tamara home?
So we're finally going to get that. And now that Versus is back, what are some original Versus remakes you would like to see us do that we haven't done yet? Please let us know down in the comments. We'd love to see what you guys think. If you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. We love, our channel doesn't grow without you guys.
Yes.
And we really, really love you guys. And follow SledgeHammer Horror on social media. Those links are in the description as well. But until next time, keep talking horror.
Stay where you are.
And we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.